13 years after the release of the first Avatar, Avatar 2: The Way of Water hit our screens in December 2022. Now, we know that James Cameron has planned out a lot more sequels after Avatar 2. He's revealed that the new flicks will explore the negative side of the Na'vi and that he could be making only one type of movie in the future. Keep watching for all the details. Up first, James Cameron wants to explore a different side of the Na'vi. The hitmaker director James Cameron has now said that the next Avatar sequel will do things a little bit differently. As opposed to just showing the Na'vi as the harmonious yet feisty natives we love, James is thinking of introducing different cultures to the film and maybe showing them in a different light. It seems like they won't just be known as the peaceful inhabitants of Pandora anymore. In an interview with the French publication 20 Minutes, the 68-year-old director discussed his plans to expand the franchise and reveal a more sinister face of the Na'vi tribe. Let's look at what this sinister take could be like. According to Total Film, Cameron informed the publication that he's planning to show some varying cultures from the ones we've already seen in the two movies. He said that he wants to show the Na'vi from another perspective because, so far, the movies have only highlighted their positive qualities. He said that this fire will be symbolized by the Ash people. Cameron further added that there are very bad human examples and very positive Na'vi portrayals in the early movies, but things are going to take a different turn as the filmmaker is planning to take the opposite approach in Avatar 3. He also added that while continuing the story of the core protagonists, they'll also be exploring new planets. James also went on to say that he can guarantee that the coming parts will be the greatest of the entire series. He claimed that the ones that have been released so far are just an introduction and a way of setting the table before the actual meal is served. Avatar 3, the third installment, will premiere in theaters on December 20, 2024. Now for Avatar 2 stuns at box office. The eagerly awaited Avatar sequel has officially taken Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 for 15th place on the all-time list. China with $152.8 million, France with $95.1 million, and South Korea with $74.9 million are the top three overseas markets for the film. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish has performed well over the last few weeks since its release on Christmas, even though Avatar: The Way of Water is by far the biggest movie of the season. Safe to say, this is one of the most successful sequels we've ever seen. Avatar: The Way of Water came in at number 5 with an international box office total of nearly $1.19 billion after Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Titanic, and Avengers Infinity War. That means that 3 of the top 5 international releases in history have been produced by Cameron. Now, that's impressive. Up next, will James Cameron only be making Avatar movies? Over the course of his 40-year career, James Cameron has made a number of classic movies, including The Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, Titanic, and Avatar. According to an interview with Empire magazine, James Cameron is happy to spend the rest of his career developing the world of Avatar. The director has spent decades creating Avatar and its blockbuster sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water. The director was interviewed and responded to queries from well-known actors and directors. Some of them asked about Avatar and others tried to examine and understand the director's background and creative side. Let's look at what else James Cameron had to say. S.S. Rajamouli, the director of the 2022 Indian blockbuster RRR, questioned whether the filmmaker ever regretted passing up possibilities to tell other tales. He also commented on the enormous amount of time Cameron has devoted to the Avatar world. In his hopeful response, Cameron seemed to remain optimistic that the enormous and rich world of Avatar will let him explore the stories he wished to tell and the creative techniques he wanted to show the world. The director also said that it makes him very happy when other filmmakers try and explore some of his ideas. He noted that Catherine Bigelow had done this with Strange Days, and so had Robert Rodriguez when he was handed the reins on Alita: Battle Angel. The director also added that he looks forward to future collaborations with directors whose work he admires. Still, he did add that a part of him will always mourn the movies he didn't get to make. Next up, will Cameron's dedication to Avatar pay off? James Cameron has a lot of time left on Pandora if everything goes as planned, so it's a good thing he's happy within the Avatar universe. For now, 5 Avatar movies have been planned by Cameron, but whether or not they would be made depended a lot on how well The Way of Water did. Now, it's clear that the sequel wasn't a disaster. Still, its massive budget does seem to cancel out its impressive return. In spite of the fact that there are no guarantees in the entertainment business, James Cameron's Avatar risk appears to be paying off. With each new box office figure, the outlook for his 5-film adventure becomes a lot more promising. promising. Coming up, can we expect some different stories from James Cameron? The long-running ambition of the Avatar story comes as a welcome surprise for longtime fans of the series. Still, some people have expressed that they miss the old James Cameron. For them, there might still be hope. Even though the hitmaker has commented that he's content with spending his career just making Avatar films, he has been attached to direct The Informationist. This is a missing person thriller based on a Taylor Stevens novel. Currently, there aren't any cast members connected to the project, and it's listed as being in development. Now for what to expect from the upcoming movies. The world building in the first two Avatar movies was tremendous, as James Cameron kept adding to the geography of Pandora. Many have complimented The Way of Water as being a stronger, more heartfelt movie than its 2009 predecessor. The first Avatar's script was mostly thought to be a story well explored despite its outstanding graphics. Cameron has most recently said that he's found every tale he wishes to tell in the world of Avatar, so the sequels will probably continue the development of the planet and the complexity of its characters in unique, surprising ways. We can probably see more of the evolving struggle for survival. Despite whichever tale he's telling, it seems like the director values the movie-going experience above everything else. Let's look at what he had to say about the dominance of streaming services in the current day. Coming up, James Cameron slams streaming services. James Cameron believes Avatar: The Way of Water is a reminder that moviegoers still appreciate the theater experience in an era of streaming domination. After all, the movie's currently approaching the $2 billion mark at the global box office. During the official digital pre-show for the Golden Globes, Cameron discussed the dominance of the Avatar sequel at the box office with Variety. When told about the amount of money the film had made, the director responded by saying that he wasn't thinking about streaming services in those terms. Instead, he was picturing it as the return to theaters across the world. He commented that even in China, where there's a huge COVID surge, people are returning to theaters. He explained that this means that as a society, we're stating that we need this and the experience of theaters. Finishing up, the 68-year-old said that he was done with streaming and jokingly added that he was tired of sitting on his ass. Cameron also addressed viewers who texted while watching movies in the theater later on in the discussion. The filmmaker remarked that all of them are missing the point of going to the cinema. He said that we make a pact with ourselves when we go to the cinema, to give the film a couple of hours of our entire attention. He also added that it's all about immersing yourself and choosing to commit to the film beforehand. Moving on, Avatar's 2 successes paves the path for future sequels. On the most recent episode of Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, Cameron predicted that Avatar: The Way of Water will make enough money to fund the production of the other installments in his franchise. He said that the film's success means that he can't get out of future productions and will have to do additional sequels. The momentum that the film has means that they'll easily pass the film's break-even. Finishing up, the director said that he already knows what he'll be doing for the next 6 to 7 years. James Cameron continued talking about the massive profit the film's generating, stating that it means that they're going to be just fine moving forward. He also claimed that Avatar 3 is already shot and photographed and is now moving into post-production for the CGI. Cameron has predicted that they'll soon be meeting with top Disney officials about the plans for moving ahead. Last but not least, more details about the upcoming Avatar films. As Cameron has mentioned many times, the Avatar franchise was always going to have multiple movies in it, even if they're a decade apart. With Avatar 3 set to release in 2024, there's been a lot of speculation surrounding it. Currently, we know that the probable name of it is The Seed Bearer. For Avatar 4, the leaked title is The Tulkun Rider. Though we know less about it than Avatar 3, it's been written and a part of it has been shot as well. Cameron had commented earlier about getting the young actors to shoot future movies before they grow up. The 5th film isn't necessarily confirmed and will probably depend on The Way of Water. Right now, the info about it is very vague. It seems like we'll just have to wait to find out how this saga pans out. That's all for today. Will you be watching the upcoming Avatar sequels? Comment down below and let us know. As always, thank you for watching, and remember to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more if you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one.